Welcome to the only wrestling podcast that covers the WWE developmental system from its inception to modern day. From OVW to MCW to HWA, Deep South, FCW, and much more. Hosted by Brian Asbury and Mortimer Blankenship. Now let's dive into what could have been, what should have been. Welcome to Developmentally Speaking.
Hey everybody, I'm Mortimer Blankenship.
And I'm Brian Asbury.
And this is...
Developmentally Speaking.
So, who we got on the plate today?
We're going to talk about the one, the only, James E. Cornette.
This guy right here.
Yes, sir. The legendary, the true mouth of professional wrestling.
The true mouth of professional
yes.
wrestling. So you're saying Jimmy Hart was nothing.
I'm not saying that at all.
Oh, okay.
I just feel that...
Wasn't he called the Louisville Loudmouth? Is that right?
There was Louisville something.
Louisville Loudmouth, right? I think so.
I don't know.
I think that's what they call him, the Louisville Loudmouth. Which would work because he knows how to bump his gums.
Oh, he does.
That's one thing he knows how to do. And, yeah. So, I've loved Jim Cornette my entire life watching wrestling. I remember my dad hating Jim Cornette because I just remember, that son of a bitch coming out here with that tennis racket. You know he's going to hit somebody with it when that referee's not looking, that cheating piece of, and that was what he always said. And, what, you don't think the mic's
Are we
working?
good? I tapped it. I'm just making sure.
Ever doubt me.
Okay. But no, to your point, Jim Cornette is embedded in our brains.
Yes.
Like Danny Davis.
Yes, for sure.
Like Rip Rogers.
For sure. But for... I just no-sold the hell out of that. But the thing about... For me was Jim Cornette was, before OVW, like, I loved Jim Cornette I just thought he was funny.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, he wasn't annoying. He was funny.
Yes.
As he got older, you realize why. I realized why Dad didn't like him so much. But I remember meeting him.
Okay.
And it wasn't like you go to these conventions and meet people. It was the Austin, Indiana high school gym.
One of Rick's spot shows there.
And it was OVW. And I remember sitting in the bleachers, and I remember seeing Nova come out, and it was the show that Nova kicked an inflatable Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Some kid was standing by the entrance, had this inflatable Scooby-Doo. I think the fair was going on at this time, too. So I think he probably got this inflatable Scooby-Doo at the fair. And it was sitting on the floor right next to the entrance, and Nova came out and just booted that thing across the gym.
Pre-Simon Dean?
Pre-Simon Dean.
Okay.
It was like... I don't know. He was heel. I know that. Cause he
Short hair, long hair?
Short hair.
Oh, so we're almost to the Simon era.
Yeah, like right before he... Yeah, short hair, Nova, heel, kicking Scooby-Doo. But the thing that I remember about Jim Cornette was there was a different match. I don't remember who was in it, but the heels came in one side of the gym and the babies came in the other side. And it was like on opposite corners of the gym. Okay. Like there's that corner and then there was this corner.
So Impact Zone, AEW, OVW entrance.
Yes and no, but it was diagonal corners across the gym.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you had them coming this way and then they could...
We're kayfabing, baby.
They would come in this way, so they would like meet in the middle of the ring. And I don't know who it was, but
one more time for the diagram.
Huh?
One more time for the diagram. Thank you.
Right.
Proceed.
Angled like that.
What is that called? What's the fancy words with rectangles and?
I said the hypotenuse.
They were a hypotenuse.
They were a hypotenuse to the ring. But yeah, and it was a heel running away from a babyface, and the babyface had a steel chair, and he was chasing after him, and they just ran off. That was the end of the match, and I just drooled on myself. That's
We're live.
life. We're live. And I remember sitting, and I didn't realize Cornette was there yet, like as close to me as he was, but he was me and probably, I want to say he was 15 feet away from me. And I remember him, as they ran around the corner, I just hear him yelling, "Chair! Chair! Chair! Damn it, chair!" And then you hear like 10 seconds later, the chair hitting something. And clearly he was the booker. And he was up there making sure what was supposed to happen was happening. And you know, I found out about this years later, but he had the pin, and he'd put it over his ear, and the match would end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I'm assuming, like, I can't correlate that for sure, but he had a pin, and it was over his ear. I don't know if he was just writing notes or not, but there wasn't a match going. But back then, I remember when I first got into wrestling, I was told about that trick where if you have your bookers out there, if they put the pin over the ear, take it home.
Okay.
And I don't know if he was doing that or not, but there was a pin over his ear, and I remembered that when I was first told that. I'm like, no, wait a minute. Because I thought it was weird, him sitting there with a pin. I'm like, why has he got a pin? But, you know, but he was. But then I realized he had a clipboard, and he was taking notes. But I don't know. Because I didn't know why he was. That guy manages wrestlers. Why? I didn't know he was the booker. I was a kid.
You don't know why he's in Austin, Indiana.
Yeah, why is he in Austin, Indiana?
Cornette.
Yelling chair, damn it, chair. Why? I don't know.
You know, prior to this, Cornette had a lengthy run. WWE, WWF, WCW, NWA, Mid-South, Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis was considered Louisville too, right? Or was that USWA?
USWA. Yeah.
Okay.
Memphis was. It was. It would go Memphis, Louisville, Evansville, Paducah. Would they go to Paducah too?
Paducah, the home of current WWE Intercontinental Champion Ricochet.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I should travel with Trevor. I just know he's from Paducah, Kentucky.
Keep your
That's why
peckery hands off of me.
when we would travel, you know, we would Ricochet would come up from Paducah.
He would bounce off of Paducah.
He would. He'd fly. This is back when he had long hair.
He would get it Ricochet.
And then we would meet. And then we'd go over to Cleveland and pick up our boy Johnny Gargano. Okay?
Yeah, this is you driving?
Mainly, yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm learning. I mean, you're talking about people who wrestle. And
Well, no, there was a guy named Ivan, too.
Oh, Ivan what, Putski?
He's a camera guy. So it was me, Ivan,
Right, so
Jason.
So what I'm learning out of all this is that you were the driver.
No.
Ivan was the cameraman. The other two guys were wrestlers. Clearly, your job was to drive them.
I was the production manager. Thank you.
Production manager. If production is driving a car.
Did you? I was a production manager for years with Dragon Gate USA, Evolve Wrestling.
Wow.
I worked in the ECW arena.
And he also worked cameras for $5 wrestling. What's that all about?
Oh, I forgot I did that.
So, I mean, you take all that, put it together, have a glass of water, and you're going to have at least a wet whistle.
Oh,
That's about it there, bub. Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah. So, speaking of traveling the roads, Cornette got tired of it. He got tired of working for the WWE, basically, because we were changing. And Cornette, I don't know if you know this or not, he doesn't like change.
No, he doesn't like change. You can tell by listening to it.
So he knew Danny Davis in Louisville, because he lived in Louisville. Danny was running out of Jeffersonville at that time, right? The old OVW building.
Yeah.
So Jimmy brought. Are we friends? Can I call him Jimmy?
I don't know.
James,
Crack
Jim.
corn. I don't care.
So Jimmy brought the idea of developmental
Quick question: if
Yeah.
Jimmy cracked corn and nobody cared, why'd they write a song about it?
drugs.
Okay.
So the idea was pitched to bring developmental, and then Ohio Valley Wrestling was that we know and love was truly born.
Oh yeah. Oh. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cornette, well established, manager, commentator,
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
I mean,
The man needed out of Stanford.
look at this. So, yeah. Well, while he was in Stanford, though,
A Camp Cornette.
look at that. That's. Look at you.
There's 3 Hall of Famers in there.
3 Hall of Famers. Wow. Look at Mr. Fuji back there. He was thinking of the next rib he could pull on somebody. Just back there thinking, it's no big deal that, I'm trying to record a podcast here and you're on your phone! How am I supposed to do this if I don't have you to help me?
Woo!
Huh?
We're working on some big things here. Big
Working
things.
on big things? Was that
No, it was not.
who I think it
It
is?
was not Rashid, no.
No, it wasn't Rashid?
No.
Who was it?
Nobody.
It was nobody. Don't you lie, he's not working on anything. He's just on his phone. He was literally probably texting Papa John's going, I'll be there in 15 minutes. Don't forget my order.
Camp Cornette was... I liked Camp Cornette. I'm a huge
Oh,
British
you want me to go back to
Bulldog.
that?
I'm a
Hey,
huge,
everybody, look. It's Camp
huge
Cornette.
British Bulldog Davy Boy Smith fan. Huge Owen Hart fan.
You know
The Owen Hart tournament.
You know who you
The
liked
cup's going
more than British Bulldog? His daughter.
Oh, wow. We're going to go that route. That's not even true, folks. Moving on. You had Mr. Fuji, worldwide.
Why you turned so red?
I'm not. I heard a story about
Yeah.
Mr. Fuji.
Oh, yeah? What about him?
What was the guy from the James Bond?
Odd Job?
Yeah, he was a wrestler.
Yeah, he was also nuts.
Well,
Did you hear about that? No,
What-
wait, it wasn't Odd Job. It was the guy that played Random Task.
the hat. Yes.
Random Task on Austin Powers.
So he back in that time, Mr. Fuji wanted to be the only Oriental
I don't think that's the right word. Asian.
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 Yeah, Oriental Express.
Oriental's a type of food.
So it was a Food Express. Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
He wanted to be the
don't get-
only
don't
Asian
get us
performer.
don't get us canceled.
Okay. Asian performer in the territory. So he, we're going to be after this story.
Yeah.
He took, what did you say his name? Task? Odd Job? What's his name?
The one that threw the hat was Odd Job. That was in James Bond. The one that was in Austin Powers that threw the shoe was Random Task.
Okay,
Get
that
it? Odd
guy.
Job, Random Task.
He cooked his dog and fed it to him. So he would leave the territory. A different time, folks. It's a different time. It's a different
A different time.
Hall of Famer.
Nonetheless. A different time.
Hall of
This
Famer.
wasn't the. This
Hall of
wasn't
Famer
the
nonetheless.
Middle Ages. This wasn't
Hall
the
of
Dark
Famer
Ages. He
nonetheless.
cooked a dog.
Hall of Famer nonetheless.
He cooked a dog.
Allegedly. Cannot confirm nor deny. Moving on.
Is that where they got the gimmick for what? Was it feeding Al Snow his dog? Is that what they got that from?
Probably. Pepper.
Dude, I don't get it.
Let's ask Al. You got Al's phone number and call Al up? No.
Oh, I don't have
All
Al's
right.
phone number.
Move it. We call OVW right now. They're taping on Thursdays now. All right, moving on. Camp Cornette.
Yeah, yeah.
Loved him.
Yeah.
Cornette came back to Louisville and started the developmental program with the Big Four. Our Big Four, not the Big Four that everybody recognizes.
The developmentally speaking Big Four.
And that is?
Go ahead.
I'm
I'll let
pointing
start.
at you.
Oh, you're pointing at me?
Yeah.
That would be the Damaja, which became Danny Basham later. It was The Machine, Doug Basham.
Okay.
Doug Basham, which was also
Doug Basham.
Doug Basham. And then there was Nick Dinsmore, who later on became Dr. Nick in Ring Ka King, and Eugene in WWE.
Okay.
He was also a Doink the Clown at one point. Do you want me to keep going on with that? Or
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. And then there was Rob Conway, who later on became Robert Conway in the WWE.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else? That's 4. That's
There you go. See?
I mean, then there's the secret 5th one, which is kind of like,
Where you need all 5 stones.
right? You need that, where he's like the J.J. Dillon of the 4 Horsemen, because there were 4, they called him the 4 Horsemen, but then they had J.J. Dillon, their manager, which was rude.
Okay.
I think J.J. Dillon in his own right was a member of the 4 Horsemen, but that would make 5 Horsemen. So in this case, Rico would be the J.J. Dillon.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So we started the program. Rico was the first one, right? Or was it Bull? Okay, the first signed one was Rico. The first WWF one was Bull Buchanan. Sent down.
One more time.
The first non-wrestler signed for developmental was Rico Constantino.
Okay.
The first WWF talent sent down to developmental was Bull Buchanan.
Bull Buchanan. Okay.
Or as Morty likes to call him, B Squared.
Yeah, B Squared. Oh, B Squared. Known him for ages.
Yeah, this is after the Boss Man gimmick, right? And before he became B Squared. Get it? Because it's double B.
Yeah,
There's trying times on SmackDown, I know.
it's trying times for you to try to find a joke right now.
Wow, okay. So, yeah, Cornette.
Yeah,
Cornette would always open the show every week with what phrase?
God, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Hello, Kentuckiana!
Yeah, hello, Kentuckiana.
We are live on the WB4 Channel 7.
There will be W4, it'd be Channel 7.
WB Channel 7.
You said W4, because, okay, let's clarify here. There were 2 WB channels.
Yep. What's the
And there's number 4 and 7. And it had, hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime girl. That guy, where that dog from?
On the WB.
The WB, yes.
He would always open the show screaming and hollering.
Or it was, or he didn't open the show. It could also be Dean Hill saying,
The original Mustache Mountain.
Mustache Mountain. Is anything like Space Mountain? Do you write it too?
No, I don't like talking about my ex a lot, but she sent me a picture one. I know. Look at those eyes.
Oh,
She tagged me one time.
Oh my God!
At Ric Flair in a boat, and there was a flood. He was saving people and taking them to Space Mountain, and I had to explain what Space Mountain was. Don't believe everything you read on the internet, folks.
Was that from Kayfabe News?
I don't know. I just remember. I'm like, oh.
Okay. Not only was I'm
So we're way off topic here. Cornette would always open the show, do the rundown what the main event was going to be.
oh my God!
Cornette was the booker for Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Remember that word for word. Like I don't have a memory anymore, man.
We'll get that fixed, Morty, when the money starts rolling. Then.
Oh yeah.
And while we're punch that button.
The bell icon.
Yeah, the bell. Ding. So we can grow and
I swear to God, sorry. This is
we're off the rails at this point,
well,
but the people like it.
I feel like we need to keep looking at each other because otherwise you're just looking at the TV
Okay.
the whole time, talking.
So, Cornette was booker. Much like Donkey Kong and Wario over here.
It's long. Whatever. Y'all see me in a go-kart.
So now I feel like this is an intimate conversation.
Okay, turn the chairs forward here. Come on.
So we would get to see OVW on the WB Channel 7
On Saturday nights.
Not knowing at the time that this was the future of the
Oh,
WWE.
no clue. It was. I mean, they future superstar. What was it?
Tomorrow's
Superstars today.
I
Yeah,
had no clue.
but it was real. It was very real. And
And you would just know that they would send some talent down from time to time. But, I mean, they wouldn't boast about, we are the development, you know?
no, they never really said that. They like. I don't know if they were allowed to be like, we are the developmental territory for WWE or maybe that's just not something they want because
Because WWE
I don't know how to
never
talk
owned.
either.
So let's clarify: WWE never owned Ohio Valley Wrestling,
right. They never owned it, but
or the building.
so the way I look at it is OVW probably wanted to make themselves look like they were as high as you can get because they were a wrestling show on TV.
Yes.
So you don't want to be like, we're the training facility for WWE. No, we're OVW. WWE's taking our talent from us because they're so good because we're the best you can get. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why they never really. I mean, people learn people learn as they watch more. Oh wait, everybody's going to WWE from this place. But I mean, instead of having the world know, you okay?
It's the table moving, not the mic.
Oh, okay. You could, instead of telling the world, hey, we are the developmental territory for WWE, they more pushed the story that they were so good
Yes.
that the WWE just took their talent.
Yes.
Instead of letting them know that they were actually bed partners.
And Lord help them if they took a talent before Cornette's storyline was over. Listen, Ohio Valley Wrestling to Jim Cornette was his baby. He did.
Oh my God.
He lived it. He breathed it. He put everything he had into it.
Personally, what do you think was more important to him, Ohio Valley Wrestling or Smoky Mountain?
OVW.
Really?
Yes, I do.
See, I think Smoky Mountain was his favorite. I think that OVW was his, what do you say, his magnum opus? Is that the word?
Okay.
Is that what the word is? I don't know. I'm not good with words, but I think that.
Let's touch on Smoky Mountain.
Sure. Well done, baby. Best tag team of all time. Well done.
Do you know who the backer was?
The backer for
Smoky Mountain.
I'm assuming probably Vince.
No. Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin.
You know who Rick Rubin is? Producer extraordinaire.
Rick Rubin. No, I don't know who that is. You gonna show me who that is?
Yes. For all you out there watching, you know who Rick Rubin is.
They do?
Yes.
Everybody watching this knows who Rick Rubin is?
Yes.
Let me see it.
You've seen Rick Rubin.
I have no clue who this man is.
You don't know who Rick Rubin is?
I have no clue who that man
Wow.
is. Rick Rubin.
He co-founded Def Jam.
Okay. Keep in mind that I didn't listen to a lot of Def Jam growing up. I was raised on country music. It wasn't until I got older that I started listening. Like, I think I started listening to Def Jam because of the PlayStation video games where you fought.
Oh, Def Jam Vendetta.
Yes.
He was also co-head of Columbia.
The Nation of Columbia.
Oh my God.
Wait, the country Columbia.
The record label.
Oh, well, we need to specify. Why are we talking about this guy instead of Jim Cornette right now?
He helped produce music for LL Cool J, BC Boys, Run DMC. You gonna talk?
Very.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mick Jagger.
Okay, that's cool. But
Tom Petty, woo! And the Heartbreakers.
But why would I know who he is?
He's in the audience all the time.
Audience where?
All right, moving on. Rick Rubin back to Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Okay, that's cool. I get that. I've not watched a lot of Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Watch Dark Side of the Ring tonight. Okay, so who all came through Smoky Mountain?
Thrill Seekers and
The original, which was
Chris Jericho and Lance Storm,
Kane, The Undertaker.
Right? Are you gonna let me? You're gonna let me answer this question that you asked me, or are you gonna answer this question you asked me?
Right, more to go.
No, you already took like half the ones I know, so screw you. I'm not gonna get off. Of me.
What's that?
Get off of me.
Hold on. Sound's probably out.
Get off of me.
Look at your jacket. What's it say on your jacket?
Columbia.
Rick Rubin. Anyway.
Somehow you come full circle back to that bearded guy, Rick Rubin, that I didn't know who it was.
So Cornette did. He did Smoky Mountain for what, 2 to 4 years? It wasn't very long.
I think it was like 4 years, maybe 3, 4. I don't know.
Not very long.
I just said I didn't watch it. You would know more than I did.
And
but I know some people came through it.
that's true.
Like, dude, the best, some of the best vignettes of all time was the Thrill Seekers in Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Cornette's always been a genius on everything he's done.
Hilarious.
You know, he is very outspoken, but rightfully so. You know, coming back to Ohio Valley Wrestling, this past weekend at WrestleMania, the highest praised person is Pat McAfee. Why? Because he was trained by who?
Rip Rogers.
Who trained everybody at OVW.
Yeah, it's like Pat McAfee created his own OVW in his gym above wherever his ring is. I don't know where.
His barn.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
He made his own OVW. I mean, it was Rip Rogers was standing there training him, and Clinton Von Dilligan, Von Lilas, was his training partner.
Mm-hmm.
So you had OVW alums teaching him how to do what he wanted to do, and the match was solid. I mean, he put high spots where he needed to put them, and I don't know who wrote that match, who was the agent for that match by any means. I did find out that the Hurricane was the agent for the Johnny Knoxville match.
Good for him.
Yeah,
That was a good match.
he posted on. He's super excited about it. But I think my favorite part, and I messaged you this right after the match. I said, and he won with a frickin' leverage pin.
Yeah.
He didn't hit him with a finisher.
Mm-hmm.
He won with a leverage pin. How often in wrestling now do people win with a leverage pin?
Not often.
It has to be that finisher.
Because what Cornette and Rip and Danny taught down in Ohio Valley Wrestling was different. It didn't need to be 32 kickouts and all these high spots. They taught wrestling. Jim Cornette loves professional.
You're sounding like me now.
Loves professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Listen, just because we came up differently, okay?
We came up pretty similar, but
Wrestling career-wise, you like the NWA. You like that old style, over the top ropes to DQ, and don't
make it real.
Yes,
I like it. I like it to be
I
made
came
real.
in a little differently, and that's why this match is well.
I came in as I was a smart, but I was smart to it, but I still enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Would you say you probably came into wrestling with more of a what's the word I'm looking for? You were a smark, and you were more opinionated on what wrestling should be.
What wrestling could be, yes.
Yeah. See, me, I love it because it's wrestling.
Yeah.
Hashtag I love it because it's wrestling.
But Cornette was so influential with everybody you've seen in the last 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they taught, the way that they trained, the passion he put into his booking, he invested time and money into every individual performer.
Now, when it comes to wrestling, I 100% agree with you that Jim Cornette knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to agree that Jim Cornette has said the right things on a mic. 100%.
No, nobody does.
Right. But I don't think he necessarily...
He's over here trying to save himself.
Save myself from what?
I don't know.
I've always liked Jim Cornette. Don't agree with some of the things he said before, but that's the business. But I do thank him for what he did with OVW.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, by far.
Developmental would have never been a thing without Cornette. It wouldn't be what it achieved, what they envision it today, without Cornette planting those seeds.
And then there's also, Cornette wasn't just a good manager, a good promoter, a good booker. He could also, I'm not going to say he could wrestle, but he could also go in the ring.
But who do you think was Jim Cornette's biggest rival?
In OVW?
Just in wrestling in general, I think it's well documented. It's the same person.
I think his biggest rival is Vince Russo.
Oh my God, no.
But his second biggest rival in OVW would be
The Star Maker.
Kenny Bolin.
There we go. We got a little footage you want to show the good American people here? My God! My God!
Watch this right here. This is, I think, this was Cornette. Oh, right there.
My God!
Cornette pushed himself over like that. I think he was like, okay, now it's your turn. Hit look
Listen.
how. There we go. Did you see how he, when he got pulled off, he was like jerking his whole face is red. He's telling the story there.
Yep.
Now, this was, and I'm correct in saying this was a work,
Yes.
but it looked 100% realistic, and that's one of the things that's missing today for me.
So we've had Kenny on the show before. Bolin versus Cornette is my favorite thing. Whether it was on commentary, whether it was in the ring, whether it was Cornette putting Bolin in this place with Bolin services.
Right.
It's one of the greatest rivalries of all time, in my opinion. I love it. It's funny. It's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always trying to one-up each other and try to make each other break on camera.
Yes.
Constantly.
For sure. Always try to make each other laugh.
He had another rival. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. That's fine.
that wicked witch.
Who?
Sin.
Sin. You know, he would call her every name in the book.
He would.
If that he could get by with. And I feel like that's got to be somewhat therapeutic for their relationship.
I never knew back then they were together.
Were they back then? Like, how long have they been together?
Since he left his second wife.
When was that? I have no clue.
When he met Sin.
Okay. Well, there you go. I don't know. But yeah, if they were, I had no clue either. I mean, I was decently. I wasn't that smart to the business then. I knew it was work, but I didn't know.
And he would go that distance with Sin because he knew she wasn't going to take offense to it. She was a professional. Sin doesn't get the credit she deserves either.
No.
She played her role good with the disciples of Sins, yes. And she had her own little stable with Batista, with Seven, Travis Bane. What's the other one? And the tag team.
Oh.
I forget their names. I always forget their names.
I do too.
Anyway. She's responsible for a lot of angles with Cornette. If it wasn't Bolin, it was Sin and Cornette. And that's nice to have that kind of, so it stayed fresh and it wasn't stale. And as to where Bolin and Cornette was comedy.
Sin and Cornette was more serious.
Yes. She posed a threat.
Yeah.
With her little army she had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The disciples of Sin.
Mm-hmm.
They were...
I'm not the one so far. Yeah. So, Cornette, they were there from 99 to then Cornette left in 05. Was that right?
It's probably about right, yeah.
It's probably better that it did that way because sometimes from what we've heard back then, he didn't think through before acting. It's kind of like, shoot first, ask questions later.
His mouth runs faster than his brain sometimes, is what you're trying to say. Yeah. Which I had the same problem.
Yeah. But in that time, they sent over 70 plus people to the main roster.
See, I was thinking about this, and I don't mean to interrupt. My mouth runs faster than my brain, which is the opposite for you. Your brain runs slower than your mouth.
You're ridiculous. Trying to talk about legendary manager Jim Cornette here. Do we have another picture that we could show?
We have two pictures. We had two and one video.
What kind of shoddy show is this?
I'll show you the first one again, though. Okay, there you go. Let's look at that again.
That's that right there is most what outside of Kentuckiana Cornette is known best for.
I pictured him falling from the scaffolding, breaking his ankle
on both knees.
Oh my gosh, man! Like, what type of dead? I've been in wrestling for going on 12 years, and I won't get on a ladder.
You don't even do a Vader salt. Amateur hour.
How many matches have you had? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But no, listen, we kind of veered off a lot. I want to take a turn here, so let's go ahead, get your shot in for. Get your shot in.
I mean, up until now, you've been saying you're undefeated, and that was because you had one match. Now you said you've had two matches. Are you still undefeated?
Me and you at the squared.
Me and you at the Squared Circle Expo. Is that what you're saying?
Circle Expo.
No, we don't need no ring, son. There's just open aired opportunity right here. Come on.
Listen, Jim Cornette, hands down, is responsible for John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. They wouldn't be the megastars they are today had
Cornette not been the guy running the place.
Put a stamp on it, yeah. OVW, the developmental system wouldn't be what it is today.
And when we say this, we mean we mean Jim Cornette and his people helping him,
yes.
Of course.
Camp Cornette down in Louisville.
Yeah, absolutely.
The WWE wouldn't be what it is today without Jim Cornette's influence.
Right.
And see, nobody knows that. They're just now starting to learn what OVW was. And a lot of people still didn't know what Ohio Valley Wrestling was until the Ruthless Aggression series started debuting on Peacock. And that's how... There was so much heart in what Jim Cornette did in Ohio Valley Wrestling. He's accomplished so much outside of OVW, but this show really focuses on developmental. I mean, you wouldn't have the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Network without Cornette. You wouldn't have your NWA World's Heavyweight Champion Matt Cardona without Jim Cornette. Okay. You wouldn't have the blockbuster megastar John Cena or Batista. You wouldn't have had a UFC heavyweight champion or the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar. You wouldn't have Shelton Benjamin. You wouldn't have these people that they saw and they put their time and their money and their effort into. And believe it or not, more WWE superstars came to OVW not being signed, paid on their own dime, and then got signed because of Jim Cornette. So Jim Cornette made the Ruthless Aggression era. He made WWE what it is today. All these people that have been here for 10, 15 years, they all came through OVW. Single-handedly. Even Randy Orton was on the Pat McAfee show. And he's like, people don't know how to work anymore because I've wrestled them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, Cornette is so responsible. And OVW developmental was so much more than those big four names, but damn it, those big four names, had they not went through OVW, they would not be big four names. No, exactly. They would not be millionaires today. No. They would not live the life they live.
No. And I'm going to, and I know.
Why can't they give Jimmy the rub now?
There ain't much of a chance of any of the brass seeing this.
No.
But I get that NXT is their
NXT 2.0.
It's stupid. NXT whatever is their bread and butter when it comes to developmental. But I'm saying that there are stepping stones.
Yep.
And I think that it would help WWE immensely.
Yes.
If the stepping stone to NXT was OVW again.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, and I think
because they have a great school there still. They have great teachers down there still.
Yeah. I mean, Doug Basham's back teaching classes.
Doug Basham
Snow's down there.
Al Snow. Wrestlers. And don't take offense to me saying that. There are a lot of good wrestlers in the WWE, but they aren't allowed to be wrestlers.
And there's a lot of good performers.
They have to be superstars.
Yes.
And I think that if WWE would just take the time to go back to wrestling.
I think they know that.
Which I think they see it happening more and more as you watch. A few years ago, I would have said this is not. This is really, really going to be really hard to salvage, but they did it because this, and it might be because of COVID, but this WrestleMania actually made me feel like a fan again.
Oh, it was good.
And I've not felt like a fan of WWE in a long time. But that also because we're just cynical assholes because we're in the business.
So
Good, but I digress. Go ahead.
So it's been 10 years since developmental has been gone. NXT's been around for a decade now. I get it. You know, Triple H took over developmental. And just like any regime, you mold it in your vision. Triple H wanted to help create the future. He just did it on a bigger scale. You know what I mean?
I get that. Yeah.
And I think that as time went on, there was rumors of opening dojos, is what we'll call them. NXT's your main place you're going to end up.
Right.
But you want to come through OVW.
You want to go different places because there's different styles every place you go.
You want to come.
Even
from
though the
California.
territories are technically dead, there are still territories. They say the territories are dead, but no. If you learn how to wrestle in Indiana and you go to the East Coast,
100%.
100% different.
Was
Wrestling is 100% different there. You go.
Amen.
You go from the East Coast. You go out to the West Coast.
Yep.
Wrestling is 100% different. Now, Indiana wrestling. Don't get me wrong. I've been in Indiana wrestling my whole wrestling career.
Soup bone.
Soup bone. All right, I have. I have been in Indiana wrestling my whole career, but there is one part of Indiana wrestling that I absolutely can't stand, and you know exactly what I'm about to say. Mm-hmm. Death matches. Yeah. And people love it. And don't get me wrong. If that's your thing, that's your thing.
Cornette does not.
I know. Which is where me and Cornette agree again.
Yeah.
But it's a part of wrestling, and you could probably, if you could take anything away from deathmatch wrestling, is learn how to be a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Right. So if you go through, have your stint through deathmatch wrestling, like John Moxley, that's why he's so tough. Mm-hmm. Deathmatch wrestling. You go from that, you go to the East Coast, and you learn how to do all the flips and stuff, or at least take the flips from people. You know what I mean? A guy my size ain't gonna go out there and learn how to do a bunch of flips. You know. You go,
from my personal experience, East Coast is hard hitting.
Yeah, the
West Coast is flippy.
Yeah, that's right. West Coast flip. East is the
South is gimmicky.
Yeah, which I love. Okay. I absolutely love.
Here, everybody is the damn wrestler. No offense.
I understand.
Why?
I understand.
You come trying to train 2 times? Yeah, we need you on the show Saturday, bud.
Bam!
Broken neck.
Disclaimer: the companies I work for are a little bit better at filtering than that. Mm-hmm. A lot better at filtering than that, because don't get me wrong, when I started out, I worked shows like that. Mm-hmm. I was on shows where I'm like, that guy's wearing basketball shorts.
Oh yeah.
And thinks that he's a wrestler, yet I just talked to him, and he doesn't know what Memphis is.
Well, see, like, that's when, like, you go do shows, and there's a video, and I'll just be like, the ref's got white shoes on, he's wearing this.
Yeah, I know.
He's wearing blue jeans. Like, no.
I know, I hate it. I hate it.
But no, like, Cornette is responsible for what this company is today. You can't deny that. You can't deny his influence. You can't deny.
But I mean, as soon as
passion is a big part of why.
But as soon as Randy leaves, Shelton leaves,
you got Dolph and Kofi, and Natty. Natty was there for a cup of coffee in OVW.
I'm just saying.
I know.
They've got a chance to save the product.
They do.
But
listen, Cornette ain't coming back unless he's got 100% creative control, does what he... Like, he is on record before to say, NXT lost millions of dollars. He's like, millions of dollars, right?
Right.
If they'd have given him and Danny $1 million...
Because of the primetime players. Billions of dollars.
If they would have given Danny and Jim millions of dollars...
If they would have given OVW $50,000 extra a year, mm-hmm. Imagine the production value. How, I'm not saying anything against, but
Yeah.
I know, and I don't know if this is 100% true, but I heard that Danny sold OVW because he got to the point where he couldn't get the HD cameras.
They did an Indiegogo.
Right.
They raised the money and they got the HD.
Okay.
Danny was just
Tired.
He's tired
of it. Yeah.
I had one meeting with Danny.
Yeah.
Right before he sold it. I took over their social media for a while. And the conversation was very open, very honest, and his main question was why. And I just told him he was responsible for my childhood because I didn't want anything in return. I wanted to help Danny. So I told him that's it. That's all I wanted. Drove down to the legendary OVW Arena, 4400 Shepherdsville Road, and had a one-on-one. And I just wanted to be a part of that and help him in his legacy, because OVW and Jim Cornette, like those halls, if those walls could talk. Cornette is definitely on his choosing, will definitely be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He runs his own little online store, Cornette's Collectibles. He does a couple appearances here and there.
We would love to have him on the show.
We would.
Absolutely.
And I know there's somebody who follows the show who's close to Jim. She probably sees him every day.
Probably.
If you could make that sin happen. Cornette has worked for WWF, WCW, NWA, Mid-South, Ring of Honor, Impact, Smoke. If there has been professional wrestling on television, Cornette's had his hand in it.
Before we go, being the guy that runs the computer, I have to put this up there just so everybody knows. Hey, we have merch.
We do.
Make sure you go there and check it out.
Please support. And some of you have ordered it. We do appreciate your love and support.
Sure. Also, if you look up here, right here,
$1.25 profit we got for that.
See that?
Raise Energy.
Raise Energy. If you get a chance, you want to go to that, you can click the link in the description. You can go there, and you can type in, and it's a promo code, right?
It is. Developmentally speaking,
you save 15%.
Save 15% off your order.
Absolutely. So go check that out.
I know this episode was kind of all over the place.
But it's okay.
The Cornette's been all over the place.
Right. Absolutely.
And in closing, we have two things to talk about. One, if Cornette ever sees this, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. For everything you've done. For the memories that you made for not only myself and Morny, but for all the people who follow this show, because a lot of this people that do follow this show are OVW diehards. Thank you for giving people like Johnny Jeter and Mike Mondo a chance. Thank you, Seth Skyfire.
Oh, Seth Skyfire.
Thank you, Brent Albright. Chet the Jet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chet.
Thank you for everything.
Johnny Spade.
Smooth Johnny Spade. Thank you, sir. And I hope one day, we're still new. As time goes on, we can get Jim Cornette to come on. But Cornette does do a daily pod. He does do a lot.
Works his ass off.
Yes, we tried. Timing's just not right now.
Yeah.
With that being said, this upcoming Friday, in 4 days' time, we will be at the Squared Circle Expo here in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It is our first appearance. I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to get butterflies. Getting a little nervous. If it was just me.
Butterflies?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Like, this is make or break. I mean, if we don't get one new subscriber, I'm putting you through a table.
If we don't get one new subscriber, I'll let you put me through a table.
I mean, like, we're bringing stuff. We got cards. We got, we've made it simple. Look, you just scan that QR code this weekend, take you straight to the channel.
Yeah.
Probably should have started off with that. Little
Says it right
sneaky peeky.
Yeah. Anyway, they're already here. They don't need the sneak peek.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
But yeah, we want to
boom.
we want to thank you for coming to the channel and watching the show today.
Go to Squared Circle Expo.
Yeah.
We'll be there this Friday, 5 p.m. to 11, and then I believe noon to 11, and then we will be dancing, drinking, eating.
Yeah, I heard there's karaoke one night.
There is.
I want to sing karaoke.
I know you do.
I'm going
to. You better plug it.
Absolutely.
You better plug it. If anybody's coming, come up, say hi, tell us we suck. Morty,
Tell me I'm a fat ass.
Morty, he's begging Scott Steiner to call him a fat ass.
I don't want Scott Steiner to call me a fat ass so bad. So bad. You have no idea.
He might do it out of the kindness of his own.
I want to go to Scott Steiner and get a video of him being like, I don't watch developmentally speaking because they're a bunch of fat asses. That's what I want him to say.
True.
But then I will use that to promote the crap out of this.
Feel free to come out and slap Morty in the face. We will allow it this weekend, then this weekend only.
Yeah, feel free to come and punch him in the dick. We're going to allow that too.
Oh, we're saying dick now on the show.
Yeah, I just said it.
Dick.
I just said it. And they're going to punch you in it this weekend at Squared Circle Expo. Anyway, I'm Mortimer Blankenship.
And I'm Brian Asbury.
And this has been...
somewhat of developmentally speaking.
Hey, we'll see you later. Hey everybody, it's Morty.
It's Brian.
And thank you for watching today's episode of Developmentally Speaking.
If you could, please click that subscribe button.
And don't forget to punch that bell icon so you can get notified whenever we go live or drop a new video every Monday. Well, thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you on the next
Developmentally speaking.